Hi, I'm Simba. I'd like to present our work titled The Impact of Avatar Retargeting on Pointing and Conversational Communication. This is work in collaboration with Doug Roble and Michael Neff. Motivation for our work pertains to wanting to understand the impact of retargeting choices on avatar-based conversational interaction in VR. Types of communication we're interested in is functional, for example, what item is being pointed to or gesture or size indication, and social, which may have clues about a character's personality, mood, or emotions. Applications relevant in this space include VR chat and research done in animal embodiment, psychotherapy, and core embodiment. Contributions of our study includes near-field pointing that establishes a baseline accuracy level and an IK reconstruction that can match this baseline. We also introduced a semantic IK solution that can maintain a natural pose and a comparable pointing accuracy. We also investigate how size cues are interpreted across retargeting approaches, and finally, show evidence that social signals vary between IK and FK retargeting approaches. The related work that inspires our work includes pointing skeletal changes that inspire the way we vary the limbs of our character, as well as in novel inverse kinematics work done in game development. Our experimental design consists of 3 experiments, including didactic accuracy, that is pointing, perception of size cues, and social cues. Participants watch a character perform a series of motions followed by questions, all within a VR app. Experiments 1 and 3 used within subjects design, while experiment 2 was between subjects. The model that we use for our character is illustrated with the x-axis showing the bulkiness, the y-axis showing the proportions. The first experiment is interested in how accurately people perceive near-range pointing in VR, how different retargeting approaches impact the error in decoding, and finally, whether we can come up with a retargeting approach that maintains natural poses without compromising pointing accuracy. The stimuli in this case includes a base that is defined by the proportions of the original mocap actor, an IK solution that uses the hand position and orientation from the base to solve elbow and shoulder angles, an FK solution that is similar to base, but because of the limb lengths causes table penetration, an FK solution that mitigates this by raising the height of the hand, and finally, a semantic IK solution that is a blend of the FK pose and correct pointing semantics from an intermediate IK solution. The details for experiment, the stimuli were randomized within condition, and participants used a laser pointer to indicate the perceived point location, and then completed a naturalness rating using a 7-point Likert scale. The example of what the experiment looks like is as follows. Some results in this experiment, we found that the error magnitude was consistent across different target locations. IK and semantic IK can maintain comparable error. Interestingly, FK, which has table penetration, has a pretty high error rate, and it also is rated as the least natural. Takeaways from this experiment are that people can read pointing accurately with no visualized reference points. The IK and base solutions have about similar accuracy, which implies that pointing information is fully contained in the orientation of the hand. And our semantic IK solution can deviate from the recorded hand position while maintaining the similar accuracy. A caveat for this is that we need position data ahead of time. So this may work for NPCs, but real-time systems might require a prediction module. The second experiment is concerned with how objective information is read across different retargeting approaches. Measures we care about include estimated object width and personality ratings. Stimuli in this case involves an actor reciting stories from antique shopping, where they indicate sizes of small, medium, and large items. We pick 3 sequences to show as stimuli. No objects are actually shown, only gestures indicate size of the items. We use the base, FK, and IK avatar conditions. The stimuli are presented in a way so that every participant sees each story only once. So the configuration on the left would be seen by participant 1, and the configuration on the right by participant 2, and so on. And we counterbalanced to sample these evenly. Some results: IK provided similar size estimates to the baseline. FK differed significantly for 2 handed size indications, but not for 1. And finally, personality perceptions did not change. Takeaways from this experiment are that people read gesture or size indications, and specifically FK retarget on elongated characters generally tends to large size estimates. And different forms of expression can impact perception. For example, small items shown with 1 versus 2-handed gestures can impact perception. And finally, personality perceptions did not change, and we think this is because a strong prior due to the actor's consistent audio and also a high cognitive load makes it so that perceptions do not change. The final experiment focused on social communication, and we aim to determine how retargeting choices affect social perceptions of interlocutors in VR. We varied both the proportions and bulk in this experiment because we hypothesized that they may vary social perceptions. The stimuli in this case is produced by the actor reciting a Shakespearean speech in a consistent audio tone. We've divided up this into 6 approximately equal length segments and have 6 avatar conditions as shown on the table on the right. We show each segment of the speech in the correct order on one of the 6 conditions. The ordering of the conditions is randomized, and after each clip, the participant completes a 10-item personality inventory to rate the personality perception, followed by a 7-point Likert scale rating on their agreement with whether the character is dominant or submissive. The results for this experiment: personality perceptions did shift. IK retargets were rated as less extroverted and less emotionally stable than FK. And finally, thin avatars are rated as being more open to experience than bulky avatars. Takeaways from this experiment, that the impact on extroversion and emotional stability is actually consistent with existing literature. Specifically, larger gestures and extended body poses are perceived as more extroverted. IK, we found that it has an unnatural elbow bend, which looks less relaxed and more nervous, which might explain the change in emotional stability. Dominance is not correlated with extroversion, and we think this is because the clear, calm audio provided a stronger signal than motion cues on personality. Overall takeaways for our paper: in experiment 1, we found that the index finger orientation is critical for near-field accuracy, and this informs our semantic IK solution. In experiment 2, the impact on perception depends on the form of expression. In experiment 3, social communication is impacted from using IK versus FK depending on the task. And finally, high versus low cognitive tasks affect personality perceptions differently. Thank you.